This one right here is 16-year-old charged in murder of YbCDul. Let's check this motherfucker out, man. This shit's sad, dog.
And our gold medal winner from Mount Airy Church Club 600.26.
16-year-old has been charged with the murder of another teenager and another man who was a West Philadelphia rapper. The teen also faces charges in 4 other shootings just last month. District Attorney Larry Krasner announced the arrest of Aiden Waters today. Prosecutors say he killed 25-year-old Abdul Vicks on North Fairhill Street last month. Waters is also accused of shooting into a car filled with teens just a few days before. In that shooting on East Duncannon Street, a 16-year-old was killed.
A 16-year-old unleashed a reign of terror on the city of Philadelphia in the course of a little more than 2 weeks, taking the life of another 16-year-old, injuring 5 others, and also killing YbCDul. This investigation started with the death of Abdul Vicks, or YbCDul, which began almost immediately. The Gun Violence Task Force, homicide detectives, and evidence gatherers all worked together to crack the case. Surveillance footage, fingerprints, ballistics evidence, and jail calls proved crucial in identifying suspects according to the affidavit of probable cause for Waters' arrest. Aiden Waters allegedly paid a friend $100 to steal a car for him in Cheltenham. That car, a white Kia Sportage, was later used as the getaway car in a gunpoint robbery outside of Live Casino on August 17th, and then days later in the killing of YbCDul, the record said. On August 18th, the day after the casino robbery, a shooting on the 500 block of Centner Street occurred. 9mm casings and .762 shells were recovered from the scene. Early on the morning of August 19th, Aiden Waters is also said to be involved in a double shooting on the 200 block of East Duncannon Avenue that resulted in the murder of 16-year-old Marquise Sanders and the wound.
God damn, that little nigga won't fucking playing. God damn.
Of 5 other individuals.
Yeah, well, Jackie, like you mentioned, a 16-year-old has sadly lost his life from gunshot wounds. We're told that the other 16-year-old is in stable condition. Police are still trying to find a motive here, and it has left the Olney neighborhood asking for more police presence in their neighborhood and close to that high school. It's a shooting with 2 crime scenes. The first along the 200 block of East Duncannon Avenue near the Olney Charter High School's track, where police responded to shots around 2:30 in the morning. The other on Whitaker and Hunting Park Avenues, where a driver of a vehicle carrying the 2 teens shot flagged down police.
It does appear that they were both shot at close range. It does appear that they were targeted.
One 16-year-old is dead after being struck in the head. The other grazed in the ear and shoulder. At least 6 bullet casings were found on the scene.
I get scared, but then I feel sad because then sometimes it could be your friends and everything, and this is too much.
14-year-old Ariana is an incoming freshman at Olney Charter High School. She was just leaving freshman orientation when she heard the news. News that sadly does not surprise her.
It's normal here, but I don't know how to feel about it.
According to police data, so far this year, 109 young people between the ages 12 to 18 have been shot. A number less than last year's, but still an alarming trend. A trend that's too prevalent in this Olney neighborhood, according to a neighbor who wanted to remain anonymous.
I really would like to see more cops here at this area where you're filming, and I think that would help a little bit.
Police say 4 males or 4 suspects involved in this shooting got away in an SUV. At this moment, we don't have a description on those suspects, and no one is currently in custody. Outside of police headquarters, Yukari Nakayama, NBC 10 News.
Surveillance video obtained by investigators again captured the same vehicle used in the Centner Street shooting. Additional 9mm FCCs were also recovered from the shooting scene. Investigators also recovered 16 .762 fire cartridge casings from the scene. Surveillance video obtained by investigators captured the assailant's vehicle, a gray Hyundai Sonata, according to officials. Around 4 a.m., police recovered the shooter's getaway car, the gray Sonata, on the 6500 block of North 10th Street. Investigators were able to determine that a cell phone had connected to the car and downloaded the data associated with the phone, said Assistant District Attorney Sidney Pope, who was prosecuting the case. So here we have 2 stolen cars and a gunpoint robbery at a casino and a shooting that left a 16-year-old dead and the wounding of 5 other individuals. Within 24 hours of the killing of Marquise Sanders, tablet calls were recorded by Aiden Waters to other members of his fast break gang, bragging about the murder. In that way, Pope said they discovered a series of video calls between Waters and friends who were in jail. During calls on August 20th, Waters discussed a series of crimes using code words like scrimmage to describe the shooting and slam dunk to reference a homicide as if it were a basketball game, according to the affidavit. Quote, "There were 2 different scrimmages in one day," Waters told his friend.
Nigga texted nigga and said, "Slam dunk. We winning the game, big bro."
According to the affidavit, quote, "1 slam dunk and 1 went in and out." Then, on August 23rd, YbCDul was fatally shot inside a vehicle on the 100 block of West Albany Avenue. Video of the murder was widely circulated on social media. Later that afternoon, the Philadelphia Fire Department responded to a report of a vehicle fire on the 6500 block of North 15th Street. Firefighters observed several FCCs inside the Kia Sportage and notified law enforcement. In my last video, there was some confusion as to where exactly he was shot, and the news misreported the street. And then I, in turn, misreported the street that he was killed on. And keen-eyed viewers were quick to point out the discrepancy. Later that week, a search warrant was executed for the vehicle, which was reported stolen in Cheltenham, as I mentioned earlier, over a week prior to the murder of YbCDul. Multiple DNA swabs were recovered from the vehicle, as well as fingerprints, 2 7.62 FCCs and 1 9mm FCC, and 1 unfired 9mm cartridge. Detectives also recovered video footage of the getaway car and tracked it to a rear alleyway of a house on the 1700 block of 68th Street, where Waters lives, according to the affidavit. Video shows a young man police believe to be Aiden Waters get out of the car and attempt to cover his face before going inside the home. Several firearms and related gear were recovered in the course of the search of that very home. Through forensic examinations, surveillance videos, and witness statements, investigators were able to link Aiden Waters to these shootings. The day of the killing of Dul, the streets know who did it. Posts were made speculating, and as I mentioned in my last video, THF Philly was the first to report publicly what happened, and in turn, the streets talk. Remember in my last video, I said it was M24 involved and more details were to come? As far back as the 24th of August, a day after Dul's death, the speculation was that M24 had something to do with it. Then you had one Brody make his statement saying that if you want to blame him, go ahead. That's because Fast Break are the young boys of M24. A lot of other stuff was happening in the background, and the only reason I mentioned Brody or M24 was because he made a public statement. Now that an arrest has been made, and the name Fast Break has been mentioned in the news, I can talk about it openly. Aiden Waters is from Nicetown, and he grew up playing football and ran track and field. Waters was apparently friends or friendly with Sear or Baby Doc from the Mont. An anonymous source who was friends with Sear or Baby Doc told me this in DMs. I said, "Can you tell me about Baby Doc? That was your man, right?" And he said, "Yeah, that was my man." I said, "No, I'm asking because I'm trying to figure out why people saying Dul was dissing him." And then he said he dissed him a couple times, but that's besides the point. And I said, "Oh, all right, I got you." And I said, "What is the point?" Replying to him saying but that's besides the point. And then he said nothing. So y'all could take that for what you want. This is a friend of Sear, like verified, and y'all can make it at what y'all want. Now, what I want to talk about is what Lil Bucks was saying in the beginning without jumping into any assumptions or conclusions.
Police say a man is dead, thrown out of a stolen vehicle after a high-speed crash at Rising Sun. Police say the driver of the stolen car left the man in the road and ran away. Action News reporter Catherine Scott joins us live from the scene with the breaking details, and you can see the damage on that car.
No, the car is totaled, Tam, and police are looking for the driver this morning. Here on Roosevelt Boulevard, the northbound lanes are open. They have been for quite some time, but there is debris all over the place, pieces of car on the sidewalks. You can hear it, the debris crunching by as cars come through here. So you certainly want to watch out when you're driving through the area after this high-speed crash late last night.
It clearly appears that speed was a factor.
You see a blue Kia which was totaled. Police say the Kia was stolen 2 days ago, a couple blocks away from here. This crash happened shortly before midnight. A witness told police that a speeding Kia clipped the back of a Honda, which was sitting at a red light on Roosevelt Boulevard. The impact caused the Kia to lose control and roll over several times. While the Kia was flipping over, the passenger in that Kia was ejected, thrown into the roadway, and subsequently pronounced dead. Police say the driver of the Kia was able to get out, and even thought, though he was limping, he fled eastbound on foot, leaving his passenger dying in the roadway. The 29-year-old driver of the Honda was not hurt, and he is cooperating with investigators. Meanwhile, Elvin Gonzalez had been sitting in his minivan parked at a nearby Dunkin' when the Kia slammed into the Honda.
The spare tire from that vehicle actually flew and hit my vehicle and actually scraped up the hood and knocked out my side mirror, which is weird, how the impact was so fast. The driver fled before I could even try to catch up to him. So then I ran to the passenger and it was too late. There's nothing I could do for him.
And there are surveillance cameras in the area, so police are trying to retrieve that footage to get a more detailed description of the driver. We're live in Feltonville. Catherine Scott, Channel 6 Action News.
Thanks, Kat.
Philadelphia police say a driver involved in a crash ran from the scene after a man sitting in the passenger seat of their car was killed. The crash happened just before midnight on Monday, December 12, 2022, near the intersection of Roosevelt Boulevard and Rising Sun. Officers believe a 29-year-old man was stopped at a red light in the northbound lane of the boulevard when all of a sudden his Honda was hit hard from behind by a speeding Kia. They say that the driver of the Kia lost control and flipped several times, and the passenger was ejected. The victim wasn't identified at the time that this article was written, but police say it was a young man in his 20s that was pronounced dead at the scene. Based on the heavy damage done to the Kia in the crash, investigators are pretty confident that speed had to have been a factor. According to witnesses, the driver of the Kia was able to exit the vehicle after the crash. They say he was limping, but it didn't stop him from fleeing the scene. When we run the VIN number and license plate to that Kia, it comes up as a stolen status. It was stolen just 2 days ago, just a few blocks away from this location where the accident occurred. More than likely, that's the reason why the driver fled the scene of the accident, Philadelphia Police Chief Inspector Scott Small said. The 29-year-old driver of the Honda that was hit was able to walk away from the crash, apparently uninjured. Police say they found several cell phones at the scene, as well as nearby businesses with surveillance cameras. The person in their 20s who died that they were talking about was Sear from the Mont, and even though he wasn't a rapper, he got dissed anyway. Now, YbCDul is Mr. Disrespectful, so when you give it, you gotta take it, no Diddy. But on some real shit, if you call yourself Mr. Disrespectful, you have to know what comes with this. As for Aiden Waters, for the crimes he's accused of at just 16 years old, he's been charged with murder, arson, causing catastrophe, conspiracy, and gun crimes. He also faces 8 counts of attempted murder for the 3 people who were shot and survived and the 4 other teens who were in the car during the Duncannon Street shooting. He is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, there is an apparent connection with M24, Fast Break, and the Mont. I have a full YbCDul video coming. I'm preparing, and a full story on everything will be in that video. We're going to try a long form doc this time and see how you guys like that format. So look out for that video within the next couple of weeks. For now, the Burke Street Man Man documentary is up next, and if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to leave it there for now. Thanks for watching American Confidential, and until next time, be safe.
And right now, a 16-year-old boy is charged with the murder of a Philadelphia rapper. That shooting happened last month in Olney. The 25-year-old rapper Abdul Vix, also known as YbCDul, was killed. District Attorney Larry Krasner announcing those charges today.
He also says the teen suspect is connected to several other shootings. Jeff, what can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that the country and this region appears to have a problem with young victims and young people shooting guns. Listen, prosecutors with the district attorney's office tonight are urging parents in the city of Philadelphia to search the rooms of their children to find guns there and call the police to have them taken away. This, as you folks have reported, as he charges a 16-year-old with double murder. In a light rain near a basketball court in Olney, DA Larry Krasner reports he's charged a 16-year-old with the killing of 2 and the wounding of others as part of a shooting group known as Fast Break.
A small group of young people in the city of Philadelphia made a decision to hold a gun, to point a gun at another human being and pull the trigger.
The alleged teenage shooter is Aiden Waters. The DA says he's the killer of 25-year-old rapper Abdul Vix in a shooting on the 5500 block of North Fair Hills Street in late August. Investigators report they've linked Waters to a wave of shootings in Philadelphia last month, along with the murder counts. He faces attempted murder, aggravated assault, and gun charges.
It's called clout chasing, is what we call it. It's what everyone calls it, I guess. You're looking for notoriety. You're looking to make a name for yourself.
Prosecutors say the guns used in the killings were illegal and one had a switch installed, allowing for multiple shots with one squeeze of the trigger. Prosecutors are urging parents to search their children's rooms for guns.
Recover the firearms that are in the homes.
It should be messed up though, man. RP YbCDul. Lil bro was out there bit wildin' though, man. Should be sad, man. 16-year-old too. The one that did it, that shit crazy. But yeah, man, I'm about to wrap up this motherfucking video, man. Y'all have a blessed one, man. Catch me on the next one. I'm out of here.